Hi, and welcome to Designing with Casual Elegance. I am your host, Susan Sage, and today we are talking about the different trends for 2026. I'll begin with paint colors, and what I have here are all of Sherwin-Williams. They have 4 different categories of colors, and they always do a ton of colors. The other companies put out a fair number, but concentrate, they focus a little more, but Sherwin-Williams doesn't miss anything. I'm going to start by talking about the color of the year. Their color is universal khaki, and just a fundamental neutral that really works anywhere. And then we have Valspar, whose color is warm eucalyptus, and Benjamin Moore, who is silhouette. And I think this is interesting because last year, Bear was a real dark color like this. So to see our warm eucalyptus on a wall, I think it's a very pretty color. I'm not going to run out and paint a wall with it, but I really do like it because darks are coming back strong and they're going to be big. And again, silhouette, here they have color drenched. Benjamin Moore, where all of the picture frame molding is painted the same color. Okay, I'm going to start with the frosted tints. Interesting thing about this grouping, I have seen some people, while I was researching, kind of poo-pooing it, saying, oh, nobody's going to do those. Out of everything on this board, these would be my first choice. Light, bright, happy. And if you look at Benjamin Moore's colors, you can see their 4 top colors aren't that different. So, they've selected 8 colors for their colors of the year, but these are very soft and easy to live with. I would do any one of them. So anyway, they're called frosted tints, and like I said, I like them. If we go on, next we have the sun-baked hues, and you can tell these are all very warm colors. Your yellows, your corals, and I'm really happy to see coral, one of my favorite colors. Some of the reds, not so much. Very warm environment is what those colors are going to do. And again, Benjamin Moore has touched on the pottery red, kind of in that same thing, but just one color that they're showing on that. And then we get down to the restorative darks. Okay, this, great in the library. If I'm gonna go dark like this, I want to do it as an accent color or drama. And when I say drama, powder bath, a library, however, if you had a home library you're going to do it in, you're gonna want a lot of lighting because these deep colors are going to absorb, a lot of light. You might only have 10 or 11 or up to 20% light reflectance value. But again, they're very beautiful colors. They seem to work a little bit better the further north you go. It seems like here in the upper south and the south, we stay a little bit lighter and brighter. And then we get down to our fundamental neutrals, and they are just good neutral colors. And you can take definitely colors out of the Benjamin Moore that would work in there too. So we also have Sherwin-Williams HGTV Home. And you can see they really didn't get any pinks. They stayed kind of neutral with a little bit of green, blue greens, and you're seeing a lot of blue greens, not just a pure green or a pure blue. They're being mixed together, which personally I like a little bit better. I think they're a lot easier to work with. So I do like all of those colors, and it's kind of interesting that Sherwin-Williams does all of this for their corporate stores, but yet they give a very limited color. Even though they have all these colors at Lowe's, they just selected a few, just a handful for their colors of the year. And the other one I do have is Glidden or Pittsburgh paints. And these you can also get at a Spectrum store, which is where you get Benjamin Moore. You can also get Benjamin Moore at Ace. And here again, they've got a few more colors, the darks, and you can see the reds, kind of a peachy color, not really pink, but a lot of similarities with all of our different paint colors. Okay. And then we can talk about trends. We are going to start with furniture trends, and the biggest difference is going to be curved furniture. I haven't seen this in a long time. I think I did one in a contemporary home maybe 12 years ago. It's been a while. Interesting thing with the curved furniture, you will always find it in contemporary furniture stores. Different shapes, it might be an S shape or a serpentine, might be just big and round. You know, it's just something that everybody has a traditional sofa now, so it's time for a curved sofa. The other thing, I put 3 paint colors up in this photo, and I'm showing you the wall color, the color of the drapes, and the dark brown, the sideboard that's in there. And the reason I did that is because when you're considering wall color and furniture, you want it all to work together. You're going to start with your inspiration piece, which might be a piece of furniture. It might be a paint, it might be a rug or carpeting, and you're going to expand from that. I think this shows very well the light walls, the lighter sofa, and then the nice dark dramatic piece sitting over on the other wall. Next, well, we have a couple more pictures for curved furniture in dining rooms. And on this photo, we have the curved chairs, and anybody who is a little more mature, has been around for a little while, has seen this style before. Well, it's back. And the other thing in this photo that I really like is the wainscoting. I am a big fan of wainscoting, and they are doing it as board and batten style. You'll see it mainly as picture frame, and all the same color. It's all color drenched. Now, color drenching, I think, is good in some instances. I'm not a huge fan, but if I'm going to do color drenching, what I'm going to do, I may start down here for my walls in a nice deep color, but then go up at least 2 shades, because if you go up 2, you will actually see a difference. And even though these 2 colors next to each other look like they're different, when you get them up on the wall, you cannot tell. You cannot tell the difference. Excuse me. So anyway, it's just a little thing. If you're going to use the same color different ways, you want to go up at least 2 shades or down 2 shades. Goes either way. And then we have one more photo of curved chairs. This is the home of an actual client up in Kansas City. You can tell the room is not finished. We still have the treadmill in there. We don't have the drapes up. But the 2 round chairs, which we ordered last fall, finally did arrive in December or January, I don't remember. But there again, there's that form. Everything is getting rounded out. We're getting away from the boxy, squared, even though you're seeing some overstuffed pieces, you are definitely seeing just that shape of the curve. Okay. The other thing, and this I think is kind of funny, my husband will laugh at me because recliners are in style. Now the recliner I am showing this in this picture, I know a lot of people have love seat recliners, you have sofa recliners where they recline on each end or in the center. I like, if I'm going to do a recliner, a single recliner, and the one, it's a little hard to see, but it has an English arm. So to me, it doesn't really look like a recliner. And then the paint behind that, I think, is really pretty. They didn't fully color drench in that particular room. They actually did the wood, the inside of the windows and the wood in a stain, which I think actually emphasizes those elements much better than if it was all painted the same color. And I actually kind of like that room. Then we do have full color drenching. You're mainly seeing it in dark colors. And again, furniture that is fully upholstered. There we go. And here you see all of the wainscoting with picture frame trim, and then your day beds, I'm going to call them, that are upholstered. They're a little more puffy and soft. And even the sofa table that's in there, you can see the supports are round. Don't know how all of this is going to catch on. I'm not going to go out and buy all new furniture, but you know, I think it's interesting. Our furniture industries had to make a big change because everybody's used to what we've had for the past 10 years. We haven't had anything come on the scene really big like Farmhouse in, a good 10 years. I think that's been around about 10 years. So it's kind of moving off to the side. And we're coming back with more traditional looks until this year. And then they spring all of this big puffy furniture. So just think it's interesting. Now, not only do we have color drenching, we also have wallpaper drenching. And I only have one photo of this, but I have seen it. It is the ceiling, it's the walls, it's the whole thing. The light doesn't help it, but you get the idea that it just comes right up onto the ceiling. And this brings back memories, and I have been seeing this, of your wallpaper, your fabrics, your bedding, if it's a bedroom, all the same pattern. Brings us back to the 90s, into 2000, where you had 3 or 4 different wallpapers sometime, but everything matched. If it was in your kitchen, it was vines. If it's in a bedroom, it might be small floral. So this is back. If you're afraid of wallpaper, you're not going to do it. But I think here again, in specific rooms such as a powder bath or maybe a den, or, you know, I would think about long and hard before I take that step. Wallpaper is expensive, so make sure you're gonna love it. And are you gonna do just your walls and ceiling, or is it gonna be a room where you're going to carry it all the way through? So we have paint drenching, we have wallpaper drenching, and I think we have some, I'm not sure what we've got next. Oh, ruffles. Okay, for everybody or anybody who likes ruffles, they're back. Here again, and I am seeing it like you see here in the photo, under the sink to hide that cabinetry. You know, it's kind of interesting. We all think of that as grandma country, and maybe you could call it that, but anyway, it's come back to us. And now we're gonna take a short break, and when we come back, we're gonna continue with ruffles and move on.
Experience the Macadoodles difference. Shop leisurely in our friendly and spacious store 7 days a week. Browse our wine cellar. We offer the top labels and hot new wines. Wide aisles, hardwood floors, and easy-to-find, well-lit displays make shopping enjoyable. Customers are our #1 priority. If you can't find something, our courteous staff will assist you, and we'll even help you to your car with your purchase. World-class customer service. Largest and best selection in the area. Low prices. Experience the Macadoodles difference today.
Welcome back. Okay, we were talking about ruffles. So we have a ruffle in front, below the sink in this particular kitchen, which is actually a neighbor of mine. And then if you look in this next picture, you will see in front of her cabinetry, there are two little footstools or ottomans with ruffled skirts. And I have seen some pictures of ruffles on ruffles, ruffled ottoman, ruffled chair skirt, might be ruffled corners on a sofa. They're all over the place, and ruffles on pillows. And we always think of this as a more feminine style. Like I said, I think it harkens back to a lot of the country, reminds me of Laura Ashley, when Waverly was really big. But they're feel-good styles. You know, it's like, I like the look of ruffles. I'd have to be careful where I use it because I don't think Terry would be a big fan. But maybe okay as long as he has a comfy pillow to put his head on. So, yeah, so ruffles and that whole, some are calling it grandma cozy look, they are back in style. Along that same line are draped tables and mixed patterns. So you can see, this is something that I have always loved. And for many years, I have had draped tables in my home. I had the table with the skirt all the way down and then a table square on top of it. And then you can see next to this draped table is a nice big old chair I got in a resale store and had it reupholstered. There's actually four different fabrics. The sides and the back are a blue and green checked, and then the welt cord is also a different fabric. And then, of course, back up in the corner, the window treatments, again, using some of the same colors. Hard to see in this picture, but what is in the table square on top of the table, those colors are on the walls, they're on the ceiling, and in the draperies. There is another very light colored drape table, and along with this room, there is the drape table between two antique chairs, which I believe are 18th century. They have been reupholstered, and this sits in my home office. And you can see above there is an antique shelf with hooks on it. Someday I would like to use that to do a window treatment and hang the window treatment from the shelf. The other thing, the artwork that's in there says San Francisco. It's a cable car. A lot of the artwork that we have in our home, we have original oil pieces. We have pieces that we have collected when we traveled. We lived outside of San Francisco for 3 years before we went to Michigan and then Kansas City, and then retired here in Bella Vista. So we have some interesting pieces, some that I probably still need to have framed. I haven't gotten around to yet, but I will. The other thing is, when you find a piece of art, if you love it, like in a resale store, study it, and then you might want to find somebody to appraise it. We had a couple really good finds where I found one for $37 and it appraised at over $1,000, and another one that was $30 that was more than that. So, you know, for artwork, I go with the feeling. If it feels good, it looks good, and I can live with it for a long time, that's what I'm going to go for. The other thing you're hearing a lot right now is timeless. And when I think of timeless, I think of different things, antiques, different accessories that you may have accumulated, certain pieces of furniture that you're going to love for a long time. Now, there are many elements within design that are timeless. I would say a lot that we have in our home, and many of the clients that I have worked with, we have done timeless things that will last for a long time. Maybe we're going to refresh with a coat of paint. I think we all get tired of paint colors and vary it a little bit, you know, or maybe go completely different, but everything else that stays in the room stays the same. perfect example was when we did the bedroom last summer. The wall color changed, the bed changed, but all the other furniture and window treatments remained the same. You know, and I like it. I can't complain, you know, it's like I do love everything that we have. And most of it is all resale. There's very little in our home that we have purchased new. So along that, we have decorating with antiques. This is another thing that is really big this year. Again, things that we have had for a long time. The one that we use as a coffee table in the living room was actually my grandmother's cedar chest. And it's not real big, but it's great. It's the right scale for the way that it sits in the room. Not only that, it makes a wonderful storage piece. So you have the cedar chest, and then I have a couple wicker chairs behind it, which at this point are now vintage. And then back behind the chairs, you see another piece of furniture, and that is a piece that was made by Brickweed. They were around from, I believe, 1907, and then the company ended in 1957. I've taken the doors off the bottom of that piece, and I use it for books, but I think I have to put doors back on because I need more storage that needs to be hidden. So anyway, that cedar chest, I have no idea how old it is. My grandmother's been gone for a long time, and it still smells like cedar when you open it. So love that piece, gonna be with us for a long time. Again, antiques. This particular desk is from the south of France, again, 1800s, and I absolutely love it. There is beautiful carving on this side of it by the chair, and you can see it's a very old piece of furniture, but I have it with a newly upholstered chair, not a ruffled skirt, it's just an upholstered skirt. Now, if I were to turn the desk around, you would see that there are two drawers two drawers there. So it is a functional desk. I use it more decorative, as you can see, and it's a good landing place for plants, for books, a lamp, or just display, which I guess that's a little museum-y. I like function better. And then in our kitchen buffet, again, it's a French piece, 1800s, and I absolutely love this piece. We have had it, I don't even remember how long. And then I want to talk about the wall behind it, because not only have we got all these new wonderful colors that they're highlighting, but wall treatments are changing. On this wall, behind that buffet, is wallpaper, and it looks like shiplap. We had it hung horizontally so that it would look like that. And now, of course, I'm glad I didn't actually put boards on the wall, because that has stepped to the wayside, and what has taken over. Once a trend like shiplap has saturated the market, it's done. You know, it's time to move on. And what is taking its place, I am happy to say, is what's here behind me. These are 4x8 panels of a vertical type of wall treatment. And I think we've seen this before, mid-century. Well, it's back, and I really like it. You are, however, starting to see a lot of applications of it. You know, and it's great because you can use it commercially. You can incorporate it in your own home, whether you want to do an accent wall. I think it's a lot of fun, and it's a fresh new look, which I am really happy to see. So, and then there's another thing going on, and that is joinery, talking about joinery or cabinetry. And so when it comes to cabinetry, you know, everybody has to have a kitchen island. Well, or a peninsula. That's been a bugaboo of mine. I think islands are wonderful, they're functional, but I don't like it to match my cabinets. When we redid our kitchen, I already knew what I wanted for my kitchen island. And it is a reclaimed wood piece of furniture. It is 6 feet long, probably 42 inches wide, and has an open shelf on the bottom. I don't care, it's open storage for me. I've got my canner down there, I've got my crock pots and other things that I use on a regular basis. You could skirt that and hide it all, or if you are going to do a cabinetry island, make it a complementary color to what your cabinets or your walls might be. The white kitchens, white on white is gone, and I had to chuckle because one gentleman builder I was talking to said, the biggest thing with white kitchens, and I find this with black countertops, everything shows. You're wiping it down, you are a slave to that countertop. I have a white one. I don't find it to be that big of an issue. It cleans up pretty nice. It's a quartz countertop. So, you know, a lot of big changes are coming our way this year. Like I said, I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see, you know, farmhouse is going to stay around. It is a style. It's going to be a specific client, just like traditional is, French country is, English country, lodge, cottage. I mean, you could go on with all the different styles that are out there. For me, I'll stay eclectic and traditional, and, you know, maybe build on a little more of what we already have, or maybe just do some remodeling. So anyway, there you have it for what all is happening this year in paint and wall treatments, artwork. There's more gallery walls are another thing that people are doing, although I know many people who have always had gallery walls, just like many who have had draped tables. These are things that are not new. They're coming back up to the surface. They're putting them at the forefront so that you change things around, that maybe you go out and buy a bunch of artwork to make a gallery wall. I prefer to take my time and find something I love and then put them together. Just like, I don't think we have a picture. We do have a gallery wall, but it's a mix of metal and artwork. So instead of just doing pictures of whatever, it could be birds, it could be flowers. Now, I do love botanical galleries where you've got 6 or 9 pictures of different florals displayed. That one I do like a lot. And other than that, I'm going to mix it up. And maybe you're going to put a little shelf in there in the center. Mostly you will see them, I think most of them that I've done that have been family photos have been an upstairs hallway that is open, may have a railing on one side, but then a nice big wall where we would go ahead and do the family photos. So you're seeing it in all different ways. You know, pick out a theme or just take a bunch of different themes and put them all together. And now, they used to always say, make sure all of your frames are the same color or similar. Not anymore. You're seeing big, ornate, rectangular frames, oval frames, small pictures, and, you know, maybe a couple stacked. So all I'm going to say is design this year is all over the place. It is about bringing your own personal style into your home and celebrating that. Not about going out and just, now there are some people who are going to go out and love this style, buy all new furniture, or maybe they're just starting out. But you need to make it about who you are, how you live in your home, how do you use that room, what do you want it to be? So anyway, that's my take on it. And I want to thank everyone who has tuned in today. Remember, we are nonprofit. We are all volunteer. And if you've enjoyed this, please subscribe and help us grow so that we can expand and bring you more content. So anyway, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.